like to talk to you about praise. What is praise? What are we after in terms of our objectives of praise? Well, really, when we're praising a child, we're actually selling an idea. A lot of parents have praise sort of a little bit sort of in their head. It's a bit different to maybe where they should be. They kind of think of praise as the solution to when there's a bit of a problem in the relationship with the adult and child. It's not that, but it is useful to do, and it can be a good tool to help build the child's self-esteem. Basically what we're trying to do is we're trying to get them to believe something good about themselves that they may believe or they may not believe, and so it might be a bit of an emotional leap for them, so we've got to do it the right way for it to work. If we can help them believe these good things about themselves, it can develop a bit of an emotional shield for them, you know, for when things are going not so well, when times are tough, that they can fall back on, yeah, but I'm good at this, or Dad thinks that I can do that, that Mum thinks that I'm a kind person, or whatever it is. And so that self-esteem building, if you like, that the way they view themselves can be helped by praise. But we've got to do it right. Now, how should we be praised? Well, first of all, it's got to be believable. If you say you're the cleverest person in the whole world, that's probably not going to be believed by most kids. And it's probably not something you should say. You know, you're the prettiest girl in the school, you're a Superman, you're amazing, you're fantastic, you know, you're brilliant, you know. Is probably not the right way to go about praise. So not over the top. We need to do it cautiously, because praise can actually be toxic. If we are saying those over the top things, they might actually be believed in a child with a particular temperament that is vulnerable to believing it. So they can become arrogant, and they start telling other kids that I'm smarter than you are, or I'm the smartest kid in the school, and that sort of stuff. So it can be toxic, it can be a problem. So just be careful with the message that you're actually delivering is believable and realistic. And also needs to be understandable. What do I mean by that? That we're trying to get the child to actually understand this positive thing that we're trying to convince them of. So the best way to do that is to describe. If you go and buy a car from a car salesman, he's not just going to say, you go to show some interest in the car, and he's going to say, oh, it's a really good car, it's a great car. He's not going to do that. He's going to describe it. He's going to give you a 30-page glossy magazine with all the bits and all the special gizmos that the car's got, and he's going to talk in jargon, and he's going to say it's got a GTS blah-de-blah and such and such mirrors and everything he can think of. That keeps making it sound better and better, and more convinced. You'll be more and more convinced that actually this is the car I want to buy. And just when in the same way that when we're praising our children, when we're trying to convince them of something good about themselves, we describe. For example, we go into a room and we notice that they've tidied up their room when they've never done that before. And so you can use that. You can go, hey, I just went into your room. The doors were closed in the cupboard. Bed was all made up. You folded your clothes. You put the toys in the toy box. You know, that was a very mature thing to do. So you can use that emotional label as well as a description, or kind, or generous, and this will increase their emotional vocabulary if you tie it up with a word like that. And another thing you can put in with your praise is how it makes you feel. You might say, you know, when you did that, it just made me feel really relaxed, and maybe or proud, or a positive emotion, and that gives it gravitas. That adds value to the praise. Importantly, at the end, that we don't put a but in at the end of the sentence. So, Johnny, that's a great drawing, painting you just did, but look at the mess on the table. You know, so the but undermines the praise there. And of course, as many of you will probably know, we want to praise effort, not achievement, especially in those kids who struggle with achievement. That because really it is the effort that we want. If they're trying hard, really, then that's what's central. So every kid can be praised, but we need to do it in the right way in order for them to build their self-esteem and their self-value.